Welcome to a new video. In this video, I will show you maximum and minimum values of trigonometric functions. Without further ado, let's get started. Here guys, we have a definition of sine, cosine, tangent and cotangent functions. For sine x, we can give any value from real numbers, and then the outcome is going to be somewhere between -1 and +1. Those values are included. And for cosine of x, we can give any value to x. So that's why I put here all real numbers, okay? And the outcome or the result that you're gonna get is gonna be somewhere between -1 and +1 still. For tangent x, guys, we can give any value from real numbers except some values, which makes the cosine 0. What do I mean by that? Well, we all know that tangent x is sine x divided by cosine x, right? So if you give any value to here for x, then we're going to have cosine x here, because if you divide any number by 0, it's going to be undefined. Because of that, okay, whichever value makes cosine 0, we cannot give those values for tangent x. Other than this, we can give any value for x, and the outcome is going to be, well, actually those are wrong. The outcome is going to be somewhere between -infinity, okay, and the +infinity. For cotangent, we're going to have a similar thing. We can give any value for x, okay, except the ones that makes the sine 0. Why? Because cotangent x is cosine x divided by sine x, guys. Because of that, we have a similar situation here, and we cannot divide any number by 0, so it's going to be undefined. Because of that, whichever value makes sine 0, okay, then we cannot give those values for x for cotangent function. And the outcome still is going to be similar like we have for tangent here. It's going to be somewhere between -infinity and +infinity. If those are infinity, guys, then our interval is going to be open interval always, okay? It cannot be closed interval. Anyway, so to make it short, guys, to summarize it, I just put it here. When it comes to deal with the sine x, then the outcome is going to be between -1 and +1. The same situation applies to cosine. When it comes to deal with tangent or cotangent, the outcome or the result is going to be between -infinity and +infinity. And we have our first example, guys. Find the maximum of a, where a is equal to 4 times sine alpha minus cosine beta. In order to make this a maximum, guys, because here we have positive, so we will make this part positive, and we're going to make this part negative. Why? Because there is also negative is going to be positive. So, and the total result is going to be highest in this case. So cosine is, because those angles are different, okay, one of them is alpha and the other one is beta, that means I can select different values. And the highest value for sine of alpha is +1, so I can have 4 times +1 for sine alpha part, minus for cosine beta, the smallest value is -1, so I can make this part -1 to make it positive in the next step, okay? So in the next step, we're gonna have 4 + 1, which is gonna be 5, guys. So the highest value for a, which is 4 times sine alpha minus cosine beta, is 5. Why? Because which value of alpha makes sine alpha +1, which is 90 degree, right? Sine 90 is 1, so you can select alpha as 90, okay, 90 degree. For beta, cosine beta is going to be -1. Which value of beta gives you -1? Well, if beta was 0, then cosine 0 is 1. If it's 180 degree, then we're going to have -1. So we can select beta as 180 degree, and cosine 180 degree is -1. Anyway, the result is going to be 5 in this question. In the next question, we have if 4 times sine x plus 1 is equal to a, then what is the interval of a? So we will look at the maximum of sine x and the minimum of sine x, and then we're going to decide the maximum value of a and minimum value of a. Because the minimum value of sine x is -1 for a minimum, just let me write for a minimum. I'm going to put -1 for sine x, guys. So once we do it, we're going to have 4 times -1 plus 1, and that is going to be a, guys. 4 times -1 is going to be -4 plus 1, which is, guys, -3. So the minimum value for a, we have -3. For maximum value, okay, maximum value, we're going to select sine x as a maximum, and sine x can be at most +1. So we're going to have 4 times +1 plus 1, that is going to be a. So we're gonna have here 4 plus 1, which is 5. Just let me write 5 here. So the maximum value of a is 5. That means this expression, which is a, okay, can take any value for x. So for domain, I can write, let me put it in this way. A is from all real numbers, because you can give any real number as a value for x. And then what you're going to obtain is, okay, we're going to obtain the smallest number is -3 and the highest number is +5. So you will get something between -3 and +5. Those numbers are included, as I said. So we can say that the range of a is -3 and 5 in this question. And we have the next question, and it says, what is the maximum of 2 plus sine a times 1 minus cosine b? So because we are looking for the maximum of this product, okay, this multiplication, we will think it in this way. This is the first part and this is the second part, guys. And in order to make this maximum, either we can have negative from here, because negative is going to be positive, right? Or we need to have plus, because positive times positive is going to be still positive. So because there is no way to make the left side negative, right? And also the right side, because there is 2. Here we can have at least -1. 2 minus 1 is not going to be negative. So forget the negative option, guys. We will just take a look at the positive options. And for positive, we need to make those the biggest value. So we can select +1 for sine a, right? Because 1 is the highest value that we can get out of sine function. And possibly we're going to have 2 plus 1 times 1 minus, guys. To make this positive, okay, because there is minus, we need to get also minus from cosine, because negative is going to be positive, guys. And we need to think the smallest value, which is -1, right? Negative is going to be positive, so we're going to get 1 also from here. And in the next step, we're going to have 3 times 2, which is going to be 6, guys. So the highest value of this expression is 6, guys. And this is our last question, guys, in this video. And in the question it says, if a minus 1 divided by 3 is cosine x, then what is the minimum value of a that it can take? So we have such a relation, okay? In such a relation, we can apply the cross multiplication. Here on the right side, we have cosine x divided by 1, right? If you apply the cross multiplication here, then we're going to have a minus 1 times 1, which is a minus 1. And that is, guys, 3 times cosine x. And if you look at the right side, okay, actually what we can do is just send this -1 to the right. On the left it was -1, on the right it's going to be +1. So a is going to be 3 times cosine x plus 1. For the people who don't know what I did here, I recommend you to take a look at one of my previous videos about shortcuts in calculations. Anyway, it's a different story. So here we will look at the expression that we have, guys. Because we are looking for the smallest value for a, then we need to make this cosine x negative, right? And the smallest value is -1. So if we get -1 from cosine x, then we're going to have 3 times -1, which is -3 plus 1, guys. And a is going to be -2, guys, in this case. So the smallest value for a is -2 in this case. This question was our last question, guys. If you have any question regarding the topic, you can put them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video.